Hi there everybody and welcome back sa ating Philippine Pop Culture class. Now my dear friends, in this video, mapapanood nyo ang ating interview with Mr. Anjo Resurrection. Dati siyang member ng bandang 143 na nagpasikat na kantang Sa Isang Sulyap Mo. Now, before we start watching the video, let me first thank Mr. Anjo Resurrection sa pagpayag niya na i-record ko ang ating conversation at i-upload sa YouTube for the benefit of my other Philippine Pop Culture classes. So Anjo, maraming salamat. And to my UST students, kailangan yung tapusin ang buong video kasi at the end of it, meron ako mga tanong na kailangan yung sagutin. And your answers, kailangan yung i-input sa ating discussion board sa ating UST portal. So, without further ado, let us now start watching the video. Ayan. So I think we need to start. Let me introduce first our speaker. So he took his grade school to high school years galing sa LSGH, that is from 1993 hanggang 2006, and he graduated BS Psychology sa UST in the year 2010. Anjo, ang tagal na pala nun.
Yes sir, sobrang tagal na.
Ay nako, nare-reveal tuloy sa mga bata kung gano'n nakatanda si Mr. Padilla. Anyway, and he also got a diploma for exercise and sport sciences sa UP Diliman in 2020. And ang kanyang banda na 143, ang kanilang mga accomplishments ay napakarami actually. And you know what, Anjo, ang Isang Sulyap Mo ay isang guilty pleasure song ni Mr. Padilla yan.
Talaga mo, sir.
Kaya marami akong tanong sa iyo about the music video mamaya if
okay,
you allow
sir.
me to.
Sure.
And then, Song of the Year ang Sa Isang Sulyap Mo sa 5th PMPC Star Awards for Music. And the most promising recording and performing group ang 143 in the 2014 Guillermo Mendoza Memorial Scholarship Foundation. At noong 2012, naging most viral music video ang kanilang video at ito ay ginawad naman ng YouTube Philippines. My dear friends, let me welcome our special guest for today, Anjo. Anjo, kamusta ka naman? Mag-hi ka naman sa estudyante ko.
Hello everybody, good afternoon sa inyo lahat. I'm sure lahat tayo gutom na dahil lunchtime.
Sorry
I'm
so sorry. Actually, nag-lunch na sila before this. Kaya I
okay.
Baka wala ka pang lunch na ako, nakakaya naman, Anjo.
Ito na yung lunch ko, sir.
Anyway, it's been a while. I think the last time I saw you was when you were still in UST nung 4th year ka pa. Pero tama
yes,
ako, di ba? Ikaw ang icon ng Agham, tama? You won that that pageant.
For that year, yung 4th year ko, yes, sir.
Ikaw yung icon Agham. And psychology ang course mo. So siguro, simulan natin ang tanong natin, Anjo, para hindi masayang ang
sige,
time
sir,
mo.
Pads.
My first question is that, paano ka ba napunta dito sa boy band? Paano ka na-involved dito?
Sige, sir. Short history of what happened. No? After I graduated college, ng BS Psychology, I don't know what to do. Okay, so I took like the whole summer to think on what to do. But I have this childhood dream of becoming a quote-unquote artista. So I kind of tried it out, and my parents told me na after mo na lang mag-graduate ng college. So sige, nagkantay ako. I first worked as yung nagbebenta ng mga office spaces in Eastwood. I started off as that, and then after 3 months I decided na no, corporate is not for me pala. And then there's this opportunity that came, so I auditioned for it online lang din sa Facebook. And lucky enough I got in.
So may audition pala yon, Anjo?
Yes, there was an audition process.
So how was it? Paano ka, ano ba yung mga, kasi I'm sure si Mr. Palya hindi naman part ng boy band and will never be. Gusto siguro malaman ng mga estudyante ko kung ano ba yung process ng pagpili. Kung paano ba kayo sinala, ano bang pinagawa sa'yo?
Way back noong 2010, 2009, 2010 actually, hindi pa ganun ka super popular yung K-pop as compared to now.
Totoo yan.
I think it was slowly tinatangkilik ng Pilipino, but not totally like what's happening right now. Like everybody's so craving or raving about BTS, for example. No? So the audition process, they were looking for, specifically for my band, no? The vision was to create a boy band na Korean looking but singing OPM songs. So of course the requirements na kailangan chinito ka, di ba? Not necessarily Korean looking, but at least nasa Oriental or Asian looking side ka. And then syempre, since it's a boy band that sings, syempre dapat marunong ka at least kumanta. Hindi ka naman siguro tone deaf or something like that. But the dancing part, we're not really required to dance. Mas yung ano namin, yung peg namin was just like a singing boy band. Not really like the K-pop with the intricate dance moves.
Pero
So ganun.
this was what year, Anjo? Ito ba yung 2010, 11, ganyan?
2011 na siya. 2010, right after nang matapos yung college, no?
Mhm.
After
So,
summer.
ibig sabihin
Yun.
pala, noon pa lang talaga, talagang meron ng ganung vision yung nagbuo ng boy band ninyo na K-pop would be the next best thing in the
Yes.
Philippines.
Kasi meron ng certain rave about K-pop way back eh. Hindi lang siya ganun kalawak ngayon, but before, medyo niche pa rin siya, pero slowly sumisikat na siya.
Kasi talaga ngayon, ang dami na, like yung SB19, di ba?
Yes,
Yung mga
SB19
ganyan.
for example, yeah.
Pero nung panahon mo talaga, nung 2011, parang kayo ata ang una, if tama ba ako,
One of the
na merong
so there was
ganitong
also
style?
one P-pop group. That's what they call it, a P-pop group made by Viva Entertainment. Kami yung medyo kami, indie talaga. Wala kaming any recording label na like a partner or any station na partner. Talagang we started from nothing and then we capitalized on social media. Hindi pa ganun din kasikat yung social media back then,
Totoo.
but it was slowly starting then. So doon kami nag-bank on talaga. So there's this Accelerate and Us. Kami yung parang
Tama, I heard
the
about.
begin nagsimula ng boy band scene dito sa Pilipinas. At least dito sa generation na to.
Totoo. Totoo yan. Now, ang tanong, nahirapan ka ba sa audition? Ano yung process? Paano ka napili? Tapos ano ba, parang ito ba ay mahigpit na process na pinagdaanan mo? Or sa'yo, you
Okay.
just nawing mo lang ba siya ng mabilis?
Well, I used to perform din, di ba, Sir Pat? I used to
Mhm.
do theater sa teatro, pati sa Mediatrix. So I meron akong background with performing, not necessarily singing, but performing, yes. So I just did a song and I think it's ang sabi ng manager ko before, it's not just the singing, it's the charisma. It's that when you see this person, parang you'll know that the presence of this person is there. Parang mas yun yung hinahanap niya.
Mhm.
Parang ganun siya.
Pero nagpe-perform ka naman kasi I think sa icon ng Angham, if I say, medyo matagal na Anjo, pero I think ang dance yun is yung sorry, sorry, sorry pa ng ano. Tama ba ako? Tama ba baka
Yeah.
ko? Yung sorry, sorry, sorry ng sino ba ko pata Super
Super
Junior.
Junior. Yun yung
I
sikat
think,
natin nung
oo,
time.
tama. Oo. Kasi I think, judge ba ako, no? Basta may part ako dun sa icon ng Angham, kaya ako nandoon kaya natatandaan ko pa. Yes, pero so yun nila, ang pinipili nila is yung talagang, should I say, yung total package talaga ang pinipili sa mga boy band.
Kumbaga, there's stage presence already.
So, yung singing, ilang percent yun? Yung dancing, ilang percent yun? Tapos ilang percent yung talagang personality na talaga yung itsura mo or the way you look?
Specifically for our band, yung manager namin was really looking for the packaging, not necessarily the talent. So medyo iba, no? Kasi ngayon, I think yung mga SB19, for example, they're really, really talented and they trained for a long, long time just to be, just before they debut. But kami kasi, since hindi pa ganun uso yung ganyang setup, we just bank on the packaging, the looks and the song. Not necessarily the talent in singing, not necessarily the talent in dancing.
Pero, Adjo, you sing, di ba? Kumakanta ka naman talaga.
I do naman,
ka
Sir
naman
Paz,
talaga.
but not like super magaling, magaling.
Hindi naman parang Eric Santos, hindi ganun.
naman ganun,
Pero
hindi naman
you
ganun.
sing, di ba? Kumakanta
Yeah,
naman dyan.
I do sing, yeah.
Okay. So, ano yung mga challenges? Halimbawa, nung 1, 4,
there are
3
a
na
lot,
kayo,
actually.
ano yung mga pinagdaanan yung challenges?
Since sobrang foreign, sobrang alien pa yung genre na to way back, talagang in an instant we had bashers, no? But I think bashers are still good when it comes to promoting something. But
Yeah.
talagang simula pa lang parang we received a lot of negative or hate comments like
what?
K-pop wannabes or parang hilaw na Koreano or
Ay.
basta parang laughing stock siya actually kasi they don't get it yet eh. They don't know why we exist or why we did this band. Parang copycats talaga yung dating. Kasi nga, K-pop lang naman talaga yung sikat dati. Wala pa namang idea na the Filipinos can actually do it also, di ba?
Plus siguro sobrang lapit din ang itsura nyo sa mga
Yes,
K-pop.
yun din kasi talaga. Kaya parang given na rin in a way na to receive those comments.
And you know how Filipinos are. Medyo harsh talaga mga Filipinos in terms of,
yes.
criticizing, yung mga,
yes,
mga bandang ganyan. So paano nyo nilampasan to? Ano yung mga ways nyo and how did you counter those bashing?
I guess it's really just part of it. At first, talaga maapektuhan ka kasi we have this vision and then yung feedback is otherwise. Kumbaga, iba yung nare-receive namin feedback doon sa naiisip namin pwedeng mangyari. But I guess when it comes to in that industry, whether it's music industry or any industry, I guess it's really the longevity
Mhm.
of your brand or of your entity. Kasi you just have to get through with it. So at first it was really hard, di kami talaga gusto ng mga tao, parang nakakatawa talaga. In fact, yung pinakaunang song namin, which is it's a Christmas song, it's called Merry Christmas Night. Na siya, na bash talaga siya, lalo na ng mga UP students. Kasi di nila gets yung
Talagang
tags
UP.
dati eh.
Talagang UP students
Talagang
talaga.
UP Sir Pads kasi nangyari. I think there was this, parang merong Christmas event lagi, Lantern Parade yata yun sa UP.
Mhm.
And then nabalitaan namin that they played our song and a lot of people know it, but they're laughing. But they were laughing at the song. So parang ako, okay, talagang ganun, I guess. Hindi sila sanay kasi
Pero at least alam nila. That's one
at least
thing, di
alam
ba?
nila, exactly. At least alam nila. So it made a certain buzz kahit na it was hated.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
good news or bad news is still good news kahit
Yes, it's
kanino.
still publicity din naman.
Oo, totoo. So, yun yung pinaka-struggle nyo, no? Yung acceptance ng
Yes,
audience.
nung simula kasi hindi pa ready yung Filipinos for this kind of like genre or look or packaging.
Pero
Hindi pa
actually,
talaga.
as totoo lang, hanggang ngayon naman, parang ganun pa rin ata eh. Like, I was able to watch a video ng SB19 sa YouTube.
Mhm.
At grabe rin yung mga tanong sa kanila. Like, at sila ba ay, ano ba yung kanilang sound? Ano ba talaga yung
Yeah.
genre nila? Kung ito ba talaga ay K-pop ba? Or nagpapanggap ka na K-pop? Na does it bother them na K-pop yung pinaka-packaging nila? Pero
Image,
kayo
yeah.
noon, nung unang panahon, like in
Mm.
2011 and 2012, did it bother you na ganun yung pagkakatingin sa inyo na K-pop wannabe or gusto niyo maging K-pop? Na-bother ba kayo
Um,
doon?
Not really, Sir Paz. Kasi I think the vision of the band was really to capture the market that likes K-pop eh. So talagang alam namin na dapat yung itsura namin mukhang K-pop talaga. So we really, at least when it comes to looks, kasi ang napapansin namin before nung sa K-pop, parang they idolize these K-pop idols, nagagwapuhan, nakukyutan, nagagandahan or whatnot. Kumbaga, even though they don't necessarily understand the song or understand the music, because it's visually appealing, it's already okay for them. So parang we're kind of banking on that, yung looks. But since they like the music as well, parang kami, we stick to just pure OPM. Para
Mhm.
at least visually, sige fine, nabusog namin kayo with the K-pop look, but when it comes to the music, at least it's still OPM.
Mahirap ba, Anjo, na maging part ng isang boy band? Ano yung mga kailangan mong
Uh,
ihanda para sa sarili mo as a boy band?
since
Ganon.
since you're performers, dapat yung confidence level mo is there. Kumbaga, it's
Oo nga
already
eh.
there and hindi ka dapat mahihiya. But honestly, I liked it. The whole duration of nung buhay pa yung band namin. I liked every single of it. Maybe because I like to perform as well. That's why it gives me happiness and pleasure entertaining people and being on stage. But the hardships really there kasi of course, when we're starting, nobody knows you yet. You go to gigs for free,
For
ang
free?
daming for free, Sir Paz. Kasi
Ah,
kasi wala naman kaming like a network that supports us or like a music label that supports us. Hindi kami. So every chance that we get, we try to grab it, and kahit na free siya, kahit na pagkain lang yung yung bayad sa amin, it's okay. So we started there talaga.
okay. Pero kasi, you can say that kasi nga ikaw naturally good looking ka naman eh. Pero I think yung iba dito sa klase ko, gusto malaman, meron ba siyang physical requirement na kailangan mong i-maintain being part of a boy band in the
Yes,
Philippines? Especially the
definitely.
Filipinos are very critical in terms of the looks, di ba?
In terms of the looks. Lalo na kami, we're really banking on the packaging and look. So we really have to be at our best. So at least we got some sponsors din naman. So at least when it comes to our skin treatments, meron naman tumutulong. Pero you have to be always look presentable. Not even just presentable. Kumbaga kailangan magwapuhan sila sa'yo. That's your goal. Kasi
Mhm.
yun ang, kumbaga ang image ang pinaka gusto ng manager namin na even though people don't know us, but when we go out there, we should be noticed. Kasi
Mhm.
nagsisimula kami as nobody eh. So kailangan talaga even with our clothes, we had to like invest on clothes. Kailangan laging okay siya, laging bago yung itsura, hindi yung nagamit mo na so many times sa medyo kupas na, lalo na if
Talaga ba?
you're
May
in
ganun
a show.
talaga?
Lalo na if you're in a show. Kumbaga, looks is very important. Aminin ba natin na it's superficial, but looks is very important in this industry.
Especially for the Filipinos, I guess.
Yes,
Talagang
yes.
medyo ano tayo dyan, medyo talagang mapagtanda tayo sa mga nasuot mo na, 'di
Totoo
ba?
yan, Sir
Lahat talaga
Pads.
is parang nagiging critics na agad ng itsura mo pag
That's right.
nasa public eye ka. O
Yeah.
sige, pero okay lang ba? I will continue my vulgarity by asking, how about the finances? Was it like when you were starting, okay ba yung kita? Okay ba ang
When we were
ano
studying
ng
Sir Pads, wala talaga. Kumbaga, our manager was really investing on us also. Kasi siya, bigay lahat. Our food, transportation. We're not earning at all. Siguro, the first 2 years, we're not earning. We're just, when we earn something, we just use it again to probably produce another song or another music video. The good thing about it lang, Sir Pads, if you're starting, buti na lang yung manager namin has connections. Even though we're not supported by any network, ano siya PR guy kasi siya. So marami siyang mga brands na hawak na pinipitch niya kami to be like to endorse or to have an X deal na you give us money and then we produce something and then kayo yung producer. So at least when it comes to that, meron yung sa production side. Iba pa yung production side dun sa kinikita lang namin as artists. So kami as artists, wala kaming kinikita for at least for the first 2 to 3 years. Talagang
ang tagal nun, Anjo,
matagal, Sir Paz. Kumbaga, medyo nainggit nga ako sa mga kabatchmates ko. Sila, some of them are nagme-med, yung iba, meron ng certain position sa isang company, they're earning this much. Kami, wala pa talaga.
So,
Lucky
again,
enough talaga, Sir Pads, na we had that hit song. Dun talaga nagbago lahat nung lumabas yung hit song na yun.
Pero let me continue my vulgarity. How did you get by? Buti na lang siguro marami kang ipon
siguro,
from your
sir,
previous job.
Yeah, yes, totoo yun, sir. Buti na lang hindi din kami, kumbaga, we're living comfortable naman. Kaya yung parents ko, they're just giving me my time to, sige, explore mo lang yan. And, at least, basta maging okay man yung career mo. At least in that sense, they're supportive. They're not super 100% supportive with me doing the boy band. They want me to be a doctor, but they just supported me in that sense. Na at least when it comes to your basic necessities, meron ka pa rin naman dyan.
So at least supportado ka ng mga magulang mo. Pero
Yeah.
sige, take us to the moment na parang eto na parang okay na, naging okay na kayo as a band.
Grabe, Sir Pads. Hanggang ngayon, I'm still wishing na pwedeng i-replay yung mga panahon na yun kasi it was so fun. Nung lumabas yung hit song and lucky enough sabi nga naman namin, it's a phenomenal hit song wherein everybody just knows the song. Yeah. Talagang nalibot namin, sir, yung Pilipinas, like from Tawi-Tawi to
Tawi-Tawi. Layo ng Tawi-Tawi.
Sir, as in ano pa yun, 'di ba? NPA infested pa yun. So talagang there were military people behind us everywhere we go. Ganung level siya. Masaya siya kasi it's really rewarding with experience. You get to travel, you get to meet a lot of people. Plus the compensation is really good kasi every show pays you this much. Kahit now we split it into 4 dahil 4 kami sa band, it's still more than enough for at least for me. Kaya okay na okay siya. Lalo na if you have a hit song, yun ang importante pag meron kayong hit song. Like every week you have gigs, in a week more than 1 gig, and then every gig medyo maganda yung kita. Okay talaga yung kitaan.
So doon, nabawi naman. Should we say nabawi
naman,
talaga?
Sir, yung first 2 to 3 years of walang kita.
Pero nabawasan ba yung bashers nyo when you were able to have that one hit song? Yung sa isang sulyap mo?
Kumbaga, the bashers are still there. I guess some of them were converted in a way, pero they're still there. Di pa nila tanggap talaga yung packaging. Pero marami kaming supporters na nakuha because they like the song.
At tingin ko, nagamit siyang soundtrack. Tama ba?
Yes.
Pero,
One de la Cruz, yeah.
One de la Cruz ba o ang Panday? One de la Cruz ba?
One de la Cruz, Sir Paz. Tsaka sa Pinoy Big Brother Teen Edition before, doon siya talaga sumikat nung ginamit siya doon.
Pero was it composed talaga para sa inyo?
Yes. It was composed for us.
So that is your claim to fame, di ba?
Yes.
So ano nangyari after ng isang sulyap mo? Pero I have questions about the video mamaya.
Sige, sir.
Pero no what happened after isang sulyap mo? Ano na ng mga nangyari?
After sa isang sulyap mo, edi, so parang since nagkaroon kami ng certain following na din and people recognize us now, so our job is to make another one, something like that, di ba? To sustain our life as boy band people or as in the music industry. So we made a couple of more songs. Pero yun na nga eh, when it comes to music industry, I guess it's, lalo na kung di ka rin naman super sikat. Kami naman, hindi kami sumikat yung band namin, yung song yung mas sumikat more than us. So kapag ganun kasi nangyari, magiging hit and miss pa din when you produce another song. So, you know, we kept on producing new songs. I'm lucky enough na there are a lot of endorsements na rin, kaya madali na rin kami mag-produce ng song. Hindi kami nahihirapan with the budget. So yun, lucky enough nagkaroon kami ng isa pang hit song. It's Hype sa ganda yung title. Kumbaga yun na yung next. And then the next...
Ito ba yung nasa beach kayo? Ito ba yung nasa beach kayo? Ito yung...
Sir Pats, ito yung nasa parang resort kami.
Ano yung nasa beach? Ano ka nasa beach? Parang nasa YouTube din yung nasa beach kayo.
Yes, sir. Pag-ibig na kaya.
Ayun, Pag-ibig na kaya.
That was the second song. So another attempt yun. Actually, yun yung the song before sa Isang Sulyap.
Nauna yun.
Nauna pa yun, Sir Pads. Nauna pa yun.
Tinan mo alam ko, di ba?
Ang galing ka.
Kasi favorite ko yung Isang Sulyap po talaga, kinahatak ko sa video kaya pag may mga family gatherings eh. Pero cool. Ito pa tanong ko, siguro let's focus on you being part of the of a boy band. Ano yung mga hindi mo makakalimutan talaga na experiences mo as part of 143?
The travel talaga, Sir Paz, eh. The travel. And ang nakakatawa pa doon when we travel, siguro kung di man outside Luzon, kung sa Luzon lang, kahit malayo pa yon, yung mga hardcore fans namin, they really try to find ways how to go there.
Pinupuntahan talaga kayo.
Pinupuntahan, kahit medyo basta within Luzon, sumusunod sila. And nakakatawa, parang parang naging family na rin sila eh. Parang they became friends. Up until today, they still are friends. You know, they talk to each other. Kaya nakakatawa na because of us, nagkakilala rin sila. So, nakakatuwa. And the experience of really showcasing your talent and the thing that you love doing to a lot of people, yun yung mga hindi ko makalimutan ng moments. Kasi iba talaga yung feeling na when you're at least for me, since I like performing, when you perform in front of a crowd in different places and then they sing your song.
Oo, kayo, di ba?
Priceless talaga yun, Sir.
Yung
sumasabay sila, yung kahit di na kami kumanta, alam kasi nila yung lyrics, yun ang priceless talaga.
Ano naman ang downside nito? Like, are you allowed to discuss it?
Of course, Sir Paz.
Sige.
It's all in the past.
Ano yung mga downside?
Bawal, at least when it comes to us being single, kailangan kung meron kaming girlfriends, we cannot say in public. We cannot post pictures.
Bakit naman?
It has to be in private kasi nawawala yung illusion ng mga fans na pwede maging sila or maging kami with the fans. Nababawasan yung certain liking ng isang fan dun sa idols nila, quote unquote. Kasi taken ka na eh. So as much as possible, they want to have this image of them. There's a possibility na, pwede maging kami.
Okay.
Those stuff. Syempre yung yung privacy, hindi naman kami naging super sikat. So when we go out, di naman kami pinagkakaguluhan kahit saan kami pumunta. But people know us. So in that sense, we still have to be careful on what we do outside. Hindi yung alam mo yun, kasi if people know you and then they see you doing these things na hindi naman din bagay sa packaging nyo, edi nawawala din yung parang respect or yung certain liking nila sa inyo. So it's more of that, Sir Pads.
Kasi yung kay Adrian, I was able to interview him parang a few months ago. Sabi niya, when he posted the picture of his girlfriend daw, pati yung girlfriend niya binabash na rin.
Exactly, Sir Pads.
So, siguro sa inyo yun yung iniiwasan.
Yes. Sama na rin yung Sir Pads.
Okay, so ang tanong ko ngayon is, tingin mo, Anjo, bakit ba mahilig sa boy band ang mga Filipino?
I think mahilig sa boy band maybe because the looks. I guess I'm going dun sa pagkagusto ng mga Pilipino sa mga K-pop muna eh. Kasi dahil nagkaroon ng culture na K-pop wherein these looking guys sing songs and they dance and then nagkaroon ng certain culture talaga eh. May magkaroon ng mga fans, ng mga following. Even kasi culture kahit mga bands, parang buhay pa din sila eh. And then they just switch to another band to support. So parang nangyayari, since nagkaroon ng certain following ang K-pop na that culture has been there already na lumalaki pa yung fandom. So kahit nung nagkaroon ng Pinoy boy bands like SB19, nag-transition siya. Doon ako natawa, Sir Pansy, kasi before hindi nag-transition yung K-pop sa time namin eh. Hindi nila mag-gets pa eh. Pero ngayon, yung SB19, natutuwa talaga ako dahil nag-transition siya. Yung mga mahilig sa K-pop, gustong-gusto na rin nila yung SB19, yung P-pop. Kaya nakakatuwa na yung culture na yon na-adapt na natin dito sa Philippines, sa mga Pinoy boy bands. Gusto nila yung the talent is there. Kumbaga, somehow na-elevate na rin natin yung talent na pinapakita ng boy band industry dito sa Pilipinas, the boy band scene.
So would you say it is a better place now?
Level. Yes, definitely, Sir Pats. It's in a better place na mas nakakatuwa na a lot of boy bands are, emerging and nagkakaroon talaga sila ng solid following as compared to noong panahon namin.
Kasi nung panahon naman namin, panahon talaga namin, no? Yung mga 90s and early 2000, ang mga boy bands talagang pinapollow ng mga Filipinos, mga foreign like NSYNC, mga Backstreet Boys, ganyan. Kaya tingin ko, when you entered the scene in the early 2010s, ganyan, para talagang naninibago sila na Filipinos can be like this din pala. Diba? Pero have you heard about yung contest sa ABS-CBN dati na yung boy band PH?
Yes, actually
yung
isang member namin, kasi na-disband na kami noong time na yun eh. So yung isang member namin si Yuki, he actually joined that competition. He was a finalist pero hindi rin siya natanggap. But yeah, but yes, I'm familiar with it and okay naman, no? Nagkaroon sila ng certain following boy band PH.
Totoo. Pero yung mga hinahanap ng qualities sa isang magiging part ng boy band, do you agree na yun talaga yung formula para maging successful yung boy band sa Pilipinas?
Siguro yung let me differentiate sa SB19, no? Kasi yung Pinoy boy band PH, yung boy band PH, there are a lot of factors when a certain network hosts a certain competition. It can be connections, it can be not necessarily just the talent. You can be a lot of people have more talent than this person pero kukunin pa rin siya because of probably the manager's kilala or maraming indecent proposals. I'm not saying na ginawa nila yun, Sir Pads, but it's normal eh. We receive those things eh. It's really up to that person if tatanggapin niya or not. But
so is it really talagang may ganon, Anjo?
Yes, sir. It's normal.
Okay.
It's normal. Like a lot of artistas, I don't know who, but it's common knowledge to within the circle na if you want to reach a certain fame, you just have to do certain things in order for you to reach that. So at least when it comes to networks, may ganong side eh. As compared to SB19 na they really trained in Korea and ang tagal nila nag-training and kumbaga dito pwedeng dayain kahit na you're not super talented, but when it comes to kaya I'm really proud of SB19. I'm actually a fan. Na ang galing nila eh. Hindi man siguro when it comes to looks, hindi man pare-pares or pantay-pantay, but when it comes to the talent and the singing prowess, lahat magaling sila eh. So
si Sel magaling, si Stel ba yun? Stel ba pangalan? Tama, magaling siya. Magaling yung mga mga SB19.
Ngayon at least sinet nila yung standards high, yung SB19. So kung may lalabas man na bagong boy band, kailangan gasing galing nila or mas magaling pa sa SB19.
Totoo.
Nowadays. Kung dati, makakalusot pa yung mga pangiti. Like kami, yung mga pangitingin.
I don't say that. May talent naman kayong grupo, di ba? May talagang may following naman kayo. Pero having said that, Anjo, do you think it would have been different kung ngayon kayo nabuo? In this period, natanggap na ng mga Filipinos yung ganitong uri ng music?
Sir Pads. Kung siguro bata kami ngayon at ngayon kami binuo, siguro mas may ewan ko sir, baka may ma-reach pa kami than what we reached before. Kasi I think para mag-survive ang isang boy band, kailangan solid din ang fan base. Pag mawala ang fan base mo, wala supporters mo, parang wala, lalangawin ka rin eh. Parang ganun, Sir Pads eh.
Pero it is easier now kasi daming platform. May YouTube na, may Facebook na,
dati,
may Instagram.
Limited.
Dati wala talaga. Talagang kailangan para supportan ka nila, they need to go to your gigs, 'di ba? Kailangan sa mga balls. Pero ngayon, mga keyboard warriors would work for you, 'di ba?
That's true, Sir Pads.
So anong tingin mo, anong future ng boy band sa Pilipinas? Kung magpe-predict ka ngayon, anong haharapin ng
I think we're just starting eh. Because of SB19, magsisimula pa lang talaga na and I believe yung SB19 nakakaroon din sila ng certain recognition outside the Philippines. So I guess it's a good start for the boy band scene talaga na kumbaga ngayon pa lang yung pwede mag-peak ang boy band scene sa Pilipinas. Kung kami we just started it before like the trial pa lang talaga if let's see if the market likes this kind of brand, a certain scene or boy band scene. But now, ngayon pa lang siguro talaga totoo yung boy band scene sa Pilipinas.
Pero I think SB19 and all the rest must pay homage to your group kasi you started it eh. Kung baka talagang lahat ng mga hard work kayo naglay ng foundation and then ngayon they're reaping the foundations that you were able to build during your time. Diba?
Ano nga Sir Pads eh, when I'm nagre-revisit ako ng yung sa isang sulyap mo na music video namin. For a while, patay yung comment section niya eh. But like nag-start siya last year nung talagang sumikat yung SB19. Nagkakaroon ng certain following na parang parang dati pala may boy band na, ganyan. Sila yung parang ganon, parang na-revisit kami ng mga SB19 fans.
And speaking of that music video, Anjo, I have just one question.
Sige, Sir Pads.
Kasi sa pop culture class, with your indulgence naman, lagi ko pinapatutog yung videos nyo. Kasi nga parang
cool.
Kasi part siya ng ng parang ng music industry ni parang talagang naging siyang sikat na kanta for a time. Everybody knows the song even up until now or even the tune. Kumbaga pag pinatog na yung unang mga first notes, alam na isang sulyap mo yan. So we were watching your vids and then we know that it was sponsored by a restaurant, by a fast food chain.
Yes.
Ang tanong, yung bang usok na lumalabas?
It's very funny, Sir Pat.
So
pinag-usapan namin yun.
Yung usok ko ba na sumasalubong sa inyo habang lumalakad ka dun sa lugar na yon ay usok ba talaga yung galing sa iniihaw na mga manok? I'm so sorry for my vulgarity, but I need to know.
Okay lang, Sir Pat. Gusto ko rin i-share, no? Parang we were really aiming for like hindi lang siya na-achieve kasi nga yung our resources are limited, and when it comes to the budget, if you have a limited budget, you can only do so much. So we really wanted to achieve a certain parang sa ibang lugar yung feels ng music video. That the steam is like
Pero teka lang, Anjo, before you answer this, kasi this will be recorded. Are you allowed to talk about it?
Yes, Sir Pads, of course.
Sure ka? Sige, okay, go.
So we were really aiming for like hindi sa Pilipinas kunwari yung scene, but since sa Mang Inasal, it's sponsored by Mang Inasal, and it's madaling sabihin nga na makausok na ng Mang Inasal yun. So natuwa na lang kami and na-interview na kami actually a lot of times niyan. Kumbaga we're just supporting Mang Inasal na din na yes, at first we were aiming na hindi, but since people seem to think that it's the smoke coming from the grilled chicken, sige, pwede na rin.
So to set the record straight, hindi talaga. No talaga. Okay. Pero di ba ang ganda ng isip ng mga people, parang na-connect namin, ay, Mang Inasal, malamang may iniihaw sa gilid or something like that. So to set the record straight, hindi yun usok galing sa iniihaw ng manok, pero the intention was to give a different feels to the video.
Yes.
Okay.
Para to make it more artsy siguro, pero yun na nga, hindi siya na-achieve that much.
Pero at least naging siya talking point, di ba? Na parang, ay, baka usok ito galing sa manok or whatever. Pero last na, Anjo, before I... Okay na ba magtanong yung mga estudyante sa'yo? Okay,
of course, Sir Pads. Yes.
Pero ako muna, last question na. Tingin mo ano yung formula? Kasi we talked about it last time sa aking creative writing students. Ano yung formula na na-achieve nung kantang Isang Sulyap Mo? Kung ba't siya nag-hit? Ano yung formula nun?
We really had a time to talk about it within ourselves kung bakit siya naging hit song, no? There's a lot of things in play. Do you like me to explain because it's creative writing? Yung mas dun ba tayo mag-focus, Sir Pads? Or
kahit saan, whatever you want to say, okay lang yan, no problem.
So when it comes to the lyrics, or the song itself, parang we were kind of looking for a hook, no? I guess that's important when it comes to a song, yung the certain recall. And lucky enough, no, hindi din namin ma-dictate kasi yun kung ano yung magiging hook eh. We can think na within, it's relative eh. So, baka isipin namin na, ito for me, may recall to sa akin, itong certain note na to. But other people, hindi siguro. But lucky enough na nagkaroon siya ng certain recall. So you have to have that hook. Lalo na sa chorus part. It's easy to remember. That's yung hook na yun. Another thing when it comes to lyrics, yung manager namin kasi tama ba yung grammar ko?
Tama.
Co-written the song. Co-writer siya, co-writer siya ng song. And mas madaling maintindihan, mas okay. I guess yun yung formula niya, di ba? There are people na who likes to think critical or give a different meaning, like a different meaning behind the song, like double meaning siya. But when it comes to my manager, dati, gusto niya mas madaling maintindihan, mas okay. Mas madaling makarelate yung mga tao, mas okay. Mas simple yung mga words, mas okay. So, yun yung ginawa niya. And lucky enough, at saka number one siguro, it has to be relatable. Yung maraming makaka-relate.
Oo, tama.
Kaya siguro naging timeless siya. Na, kahit hanggang ngayon, yung mga kilig-kilig moments when you were starting, siguro pag may crush ka, it's relatable. Hindi siya fixed sa isang era or sa isang generation lang. It can be siguro after generations to come, pag nagets na lang ganung feeling, kinikilig ako para nakikita ko si crush sa isang sulyap niya. So parang ganun siguro. It's really have to be relatable to a lot of people. Kaya siya naging siguro hit song.
Maganda magkakasulat ng ano yung parang, di ba sa isang sulyap mo, ay nabihag ako. Para bang himala ang lahat ng ito. Di ba? So anyway, so salamat Anjo. Now it's time
Thank
to
you so much.
let my students ask you questions. So meron ba? Meron bang mga tanong? Mukhang nahiya. Baka na-starstruck sila. Meron bang tanong from my 2 BLIS students at sa aking creative writing students? Ito maganda pag online, Anjo, no? We can easily invite special guests.
Yes.
Ayan, may tanong
That's
si
right.
John Christian from 2 BLIS. John Christian, you may unmute yourself.
Hello po. Yung ano
Hello.
po ba? Yung may nakita kasi akong parang bagong post or parang sa ano nyo, parang ano yun? Yung latest single nyo ba yun? Yung Healing?
Okay.
Tungkol saan po ba yun? And ano po yung inspirations nyo doon?
Nako. Sige.
Okay. So all of our songs pala, hindi kami yung nag-compose. So there's a composer who makes it for us and kami lang interpreters. Ako, ang personal take ko sa Healing, ano siya parang there's this person really wishing na maging sila ng isang mahal niya for a very long time. But apparently, itong person na to is not mutual. So siya is just forever dreaming na someday, no, even though I'm just dreaming na maging kami, hinihiling ko na sana maging kami in the future. No, kahit na medyo malalim na yung wish na maging sila na sana maging kami. I'm so kilig and inspired na sana even in my dreams at least I hope I get to wish that we'll be together, parang ganun.
Pero I think Filipinos are crazy over that kind of themes, 'di ba? Yung unrequited love, pagiging hopeful, 'di ba? Yung mga hope, sabi nga nila sa present language ngayon. Okay. Thanks, JC. Meron ba ibang tanong? Come on, this is a rare chance na kasama natin si Sir Anjo dito. Meron pa ba? You may raise your hand and then you may unmute yourself. Okay, meron pa ba? Nahihiya ata, Anjo. From my creative writing class, baka naman meron. Meron ba? Parang nahihiya sila, Anjo. Oy, Grace, ulit si John Christian, may follow-up question ka ba? Baka fan ata to si John Christian.
May nilista kasi ako mga tanong sa rin.
Pero
nabura ko na kanina, sir, kasi yun din yung mga tanong niya.
Sorry, inyo nahambak sa mga tanong mo. Pasensya ka na, John Christian.
Opo, okay lang po. Ano nga po pala yung yung meaning ng 143?
Okay, 143.
Maganda yan. Sige.
It's time for love. 143, I love you siya, diba? Kasi yung boy band namin before, siguro nag-focus kami sa mga songs na nagsa-serenade, mga puro love songs. Kaya nung nabuo kami, we just stick to that kind of branding na we're this Korean-looking guys who sing love songs to people na pinapakilig or nagsa-serenade kami whenever we get invited to certain events. So sige, since love songs, paano ba? Kahit it sounds so cheesy and cliche, I love you, 143. And since dati kasi uso yung parang time format sa K-pop, so medyo ginaya namin, no? Dati kasi may 2 p.m. na K-pop group or 2 a.m. may mga ganyan. So we kind of made it into a time. And then, so whenever we go out and sing songs, it's time for love. It's 143.
Pero were you part of the process of choosing your band name? So involved kayong lahat?
So kind of agreed na, sige, kahit na nag-cringe ako noong una na, it's love. So parang, it's not so cool. Love, all about love, di ba? Parang ganyan. Pero okay na din.
Pero it's a good thing pala na part kayo ng creative process ng banda. Kumbaga talagang hands-on kayo sa pagbuo ng konsepto, di ba?
Yes, Sir Pads.
Sa iba kasi, parang binigay na
side
lang
note dyan pala, completely hindi din. Kasi itong manager namin, medyo he likes certain control with what's going on. So medyo naging robot kami for a certain period nun. Whatever he likes to do, kahit na ayaw namin, medyo we have to just follow. Kasi nga meron siyang certain branding and certain na-imagine na pwede namin gawin. So we just have to stick to it. Yung when it comes to our looks, meron kaming say, but when it comes to the song, since meron kaming composer talaga that makes songs for us, pati yung it's sabi nga nung arranger namin, in order for you, kaya kayo nag-work, meron kasi kayong solid team. No, it doesn't hindi nag-work yung boy band dahil sa inyo lang. Kumbaga, meron kayong solid composer, meron kayong solid arranger, meron kayong solid promoter. Yung manager kasi namin is really good at promoting stuff. Kaya kayo nag-work, hindi dahil sa inyo yan. Kaya ang dami mga starting artists ngayon na, 'di ba, kahit ang galing-galing, napakahusay ng pagkakagawa ng song, magaling na singers, hindi nabibigyan ng chance kasi may kulang sa equation. No? Probably walang producer, probably hindi ganun kaganda yung song, probably maraming factors talaga.
Totoo.
Kaya nag-work yung sa amin, kaya din yung nangyari.
Tsaka I think your manager and everybody na behind the scenes, I think they know better. So, talagang mas alam nila yung dapat gawin.
Yes, exactly, sir.
So I think as an artist, and siguro you have to trust them in a way, diba, na to handle those things for you.
Kasi iba kami, Sir Pat, sa artists that are composers eh. Yung mga, for me, if you're a composer as well as a singer, dun talaga you have a big say when it comes to your direction. Kasi ikaw na mismo yun eh. Kasi kami were just interpreters, binuo lang kami. Siguro like any other K-pop group din naman na binuo lang, yung management pa rin yung magde-decide on ano yung magiging direction ng band.
Because we have this assumption that they know better. They know what to do already.
They know what to do. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. May ibang tanong? How about from your creative writing class? Meron ba kayo nahanda? O ito meron sa chat box, Anjo. Sabi ito, what is your greatest takeaway or highlight po in your stint as a boy band member?
Okay. This is more of a self kind of thing. I became more humble. I used to be... May certain
Talaga ba? That is a very strange answer. Paano ka naging humble by being famous?
Kasi Sir Pads, parang you have to learn na makibagay sa lahat ng tao. Lalo na if you're in public, you have to portray a certain persona. Not necessarily it's you. You know, kasi ako, I'm really introvert. I don't like talking to people. I don't like to like when I go out, like spread my wings and talk to everybody like I'm this super cheerful guy. But dahil sa boy band, it's kind of part of our work eh. Naging work namin siya na we really have to be super humble and super mabait to everybody there whenever we go out. Lalo na sa mga heads, sa mga managers din, sa mga production people. Kahit nasabihin mo tagakuha lang yan tubig, you have to be really be good at this person. Mabait ka dapat dyan. Kasi yan yung mga tao, kahit na yan lang yung trabaho niya sa production team, aabot yan sa production team, sa production world.
Totoo.
Kahit kung kunyari naging masama ka dahil mali yung kape na binigay niya sa'yo, for example, it will really go around na sobrang sungot naman itong taong to. And sa ganitong industry, it's really small eh. Like, yung mga production people, it's the same production people sa isa pang management or sa pang artist. So I really learned to be humble. I really learned how to listen to people. Hindi yung, kahit na sabihin mo nag-artista ka, parang ang yabang-yabang mo na. Maybe because of fame, kaya nagiging mas mayabang yung mga tao. But sa akin personally, I became more humble than my old self.
Maganda yun
Because I learned it. I learned how to, siguro dahil may psych background na rin ako since I'm a psych graduate na parang really understanding people is sobrang, kumbaga building network is more than a good investment than having money. So if people know you because you're a good person, if people remember you because yung pinakita mo sa kanila is magaling at maganda at mabuti, it's better dahil whenever you need help, who knows that those people might, like open arms will help you, parang ganun.
Totoo. Maganda yung sagot mo na yan. Narinig niyo ba yun? Humility, guys. Humility ang kanyang greatest takeaway. Meron ba bang tanong before we let Sir Anjo go? Clary?
Hello po, sir. Good
Hello.
afternoon. Naisip ko lang po, when people hear the word boy band or even girl band, ang lagi naisip is nauuwi siya sa disbandment. And
Mhm.
I'm a big fan kasi of western boy bands like and girl bands also like One Direction, ganyan.
Mhm.
And since you mentioned po kanina yung about sa management, do you think that the management is a big factor why
Oh
boy
yes,
even girl bands
definitely,
Pero
disband?
before you answer that,
definitely.
Anjo, are you
Of
in
course,
liberty? Are you sure? Kasi marirecord
I'm not
natin
even
to.
part of any management anymore.
Okay, go.
So kung
Sige.
ano man yung nangyari in the past, it's based on my own experience.
Okay.
Wala naman kaming kontrata din na sinainan na non-disclosure, whatever, wala naman. So it's okay.
Okay. Or
Ah,
you can blame Clary afterwards. Anyway,
so to,
sige. Go.
so to answer that, no, malaking factor yung management, even with their direction. Kasi syempre, as a boy band member, if you're a member, when you grow up, everybody grows up, nag-iiba yung direction mo, nag-iiba yung direction mo in life, di ba? So, even with your beliefs. So let's just say nagkakaroon ng certain disagreement with your belief, with what you want to happen with your life as a certain individual, not as because of part of a boy band. Doon ka magkakaroon ng certain ng certain arguments with the management na parang ito yung gusto ng direction ng manager nyo, ng management nyo, but this is your direction. O kahit siguro nagkasundo kayo as a band na ito yung gusto nyong direction, na nakikita nyo na maybe it's cooler if you be in this path more than what your manager wants. So doon pala nagkakaroon ng arguments, 'di ba, na disagreements. In the long run, nagkakaroon kayo ng certain coldness sa isa't isa dahil hindi kayo nagkaka-agreean. So nagkakaroon ng sakit sa ulo yung manager nyo dahil hindi kami sumusunod. Kumbaga, it's really part of it, no? Also, people grow up, like ako, we grow up, hindi dati, boy bands kami, bata pa kami noon, and our priorities change. Gusto na namin magkaroon ng families, yung girlfriends namin nagrereklamo na dahil laging patago yung relationship namin and stuff like that. So, syempre, as you grow older, your priorities will change, yung siguro, nagsasawa ka na din at some point, no? So there are a lot of factors then, not just the management. Siguro it's the management and the talents also.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Clary. Thanks, Last question from Joanna. What advice would you give for aspiring musicians or actors in a highly competitive industry, especially here in the Philippines? Like, what is the most important trait to have, especially since claim to fame seems easy nowadays with YouTube, TikTok, etc.?
Siguro perseverance, Sir Pads, and dedication.
Perseverance.
Kasi, again, in order for you to survive in this industry, longevity yan eh. Patagalan eh. Survival of the fittest. Kung makalimutan ka and yet you still continue to produce music and then nagkaroon ka ulit ng hit song and then buhay ka ulit. As compared to napaghinaan ka na ng loob na, pamatay na tayo eh, wala na sumusupport sa atin, and completely you put like a period to it, then wala na talaga, di ba? So even though if you get older, but your passion is still there and you are happy doing it, then I guess there's no problem with that. And ang problema lang talaga sa industry, na music industry dito sa Philippines, hindi siya ganun it doesn't compensate you well. Lalo na kung wala ka, kasi nangyayari dyan, Sir Pads, if you're in the music industry, just a singer, as compared to like an icon, an idol, na pwede rin mag-showbiz, mas may future kasi or mas malaki kumita kasi yun kasi you get endorsements and stuff like that. But if you're just a musician who just like to play music but not necessarily in that kind of field, kasi ang mga boy band, they can be idols also, di ba? Pero kapag singer ka, like for example, yung mga show bands na yes, passion nila kumanta, music industry, but they're really having a hard time penetrating the showbiz industry maybe because they lack something, then it doesn't really compensate well. Talagang medyo mababa ang bayad sa mga show bands. When I say show bands, ito yung mga maraming mga set sa isang bar or sa isang club singing, yung mga ganong klaseng mga performers. So it's hard to survive. And again, longevity is the key. So kung wala kang means to survive, then maybe you have to change your career path. But if you're comfortable naman and if this is your passion, then keep on doing it. And then eventually, if naging sikat ka or nagkaroon ka ng hit song, then sisikat ka talaga. And again, nowadays, it's so easy as compared to our time. There are a lot of platforms. TikTok pa lang, kapag naging viral ka sa TikTok, ang dami ng doors agad na open sa'yo. And again, when it comes to marketing, influencing influencers as part of the marketing strategy, it's like a common thing now. Kumbaga, nakakatawa nga na parang these brands, they don't need to produce so much anymore. They don't need to spend millions to get a certain artista just to have a certain reach. Hindi na kailangan kasi yung mga influencers, malalaki na rin yung reach nila eh. So, for a very minimal amount, minsan X-deal pa, makakapag na sila, market ng certain products. So, it's easy to promote yourself now, and it's easy for brands to get you also. Ang dami ng mga platforms.
Okay, so salamat Anjo. And speaking of promotion, sa ka ba nila makikita? You may plug your pages.
Sige, Sir Pat. So, I'm a fitness coach now pala, by the way.
Nakita
that's my
ko
profession now. So that's I teach online classes to have a better and a fit lifestyle. So if you're into that, just follow me on my socials. You can add me on Facebook. It's Anjo Resurrection. Or here, my name here is Anjo Rex. You can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. It's Anjo Rex also. Although I don't use TikTok that much. Also, I want Kumu. It's a live streaming app. If you guys are familiar with Kumu, you can also add me there. It's Anjorex. Also, meron din kakalabas na this year isang online series. I'm actually trying to pursue acting. I'm so happy that I was a part of this series. It's called Afterlife. You can watch it on Signal and a Signal Play app. So you just have to download the Signal Play app, or if you want to browse it online, sa signalentertainment.ph. And you can watch my series there. It's called Afterlife. Kasama ko dun si Yula Valdez at saka si Sir Jet Pangan.
Wow.
Yun, panoorin yun. And I have one short film that's out right now. It's called 13 Feet.
13.
You can watch it on Vimeo sa Cine Halaga on Facebook. It's like Cinemalaya. It's like a new team that's trying to promote local films or local producers and local talents. 13 feet. Yun lang. Thank you.
Salamat ulit, Anjo. Alam ko super busy ka pero napabigyan mo kami sa aming Philippine Pop Culture
Thank you, Sir Pat,
class.
for having me also.
Maraming salamat
Siyempre.
and see you soon after the pandemic.
Yes, Sir Pat.